before I can get into why we shouldn't listen to, or black entrepreneurs shouldn't listen to white entrepreneurs, let me first talk about the economy. So there are four stages to an economy. You got the agricultural stage, the manufacturing stage, the industrial stage, and then the service stage, or the service economy, information age, are kind of coupled in together. In order to make it past each one, you have to master it, right? In the agricultural stage, the agricultural stage is what requires intense labor with low wages, right? So that's cultivating the land, using the natural resources to build your economy up. In order for you to get that, you have to have people that are willing to work long hours for little pay. That is how America became such a superpower, because obviously because of slavery, and that's what was taking place. It is the exact same thing in business. In business, you have the stages of growth in your business, and in the beginning of your business, it's pretty much synonymous to the same thing. So you have the agricultural stage, you have the intense labor, low wages. You're going to work a lot of hours. You're going to probably, hopefully, attract good talent who's willing to commit, but they're willing to work for less. That's how it works in business. And then you evolve and you get to these different stages. Here's the problem. In this country, which has been around, for going on 500 years, um, there was evolution of humans at the same time, right? So when you're looking at whites in this country, they had the freedom to evolve in their mind and go through the different stages. Meanwhile, blacks were being oppressed. Blacks wasn't able to develop at the same pace, in the same manner. We wasn't allowed to read. We wasn't allowed to own stuff. As a matter of fact, while whites were getting money to buy land, we were trying to save money to buy our freedom. So that's a whole different element that you're talking about when it comes to the human evolution in America. So whites were free to not have to worry about certain things. As a matter of fact, when you're talking about men, men don't have to worry about the same things women have to worry about. People who don't have cars don't have to worry about the same things. I mean, people who have cars don't have to worry about the same thing that people who don't have cars worry about. People without disabilities don't have to worry about things people with disabilities have to worry about. So, what whites, what blacks have to worry about, whites don't have to worry about. It's the exact same thing. So I get a little offended when we tend to dismiss people when they say these are the things that they have to worry about or things that they go through. Because if you're not that person, you don't quite understand. A black person has to worry about the race of the hiring manager when they're trying to get a job, or how they should dress when they're going to get a doctor's appointment. Those kind of things. As a matter of fact, recently I was driving through the back roads of Mississippi, because I was at a location in Alabama dealing with some clients, and I was going out in Mississippi, and as I was driving, it was starting to get dark, and the roads were getting smaller, and the towns were getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I'm thinking about, oh man, am I in a sundown town? If you don't know what a sundown town is, go ahead and research it. So I'm thinking about these things, that things that whites wouldn't have to think about, right? So it's like us back in the 50s and 60s when we had the Green Book that told blacks where it was safe when they were traveling, the black friendly hotels or restaurants or rest stops, that kind of stuff, right? So let's go back to business. So what we have now is we're living in a stage where whites, you have some very successful white entrepreneurs who are not necessarily race conscious or race oppressive, but they're trying to share the tools and techniques of how they got to their success. And often what they're sharing does not include a lot of the obstacles that blacks face, or blacks are still facing. Quite frankly, we have not been able to develop at the same stage as them collectively. I mean, we have sparse of black people that are very intelligent and very mature and emotionally stable and that kind of stuff. But for the most part, we're still trying to evolve. If you look at the black community is now in its manufacturing stage. We're not in the service sector or the information stage where whites are. So we still haven't had our moment of hundreds of years of saying race pride or blacks or whatever. And society is telling us that race doesn't matter. It's telling us that, oh no, in business, we don't do that. That's taboo. We don't talk about those topics, blah, blah. But the funny thing is, for blacks, those topics are necessary. in order for us to continue to evolve. You understand what I'm saying? It is not where we can shotgun from the agricultural stage to the service stage and expect that our livelihood or who we are as a people will be sustainable. It's not going to be sustainable because we haven't went through the motion of really rooting out some of those ills and trauma and stuff of us and focusing on race pride or keeping things circulating and together, like much of like what the Jews are doing, right? So we have to spend our time focusing on us, working for us, banking with us, spending with us, because while we were trying to go through those stages, it was constantly uprooted. Anytime someone did wrong, a black person or seemingly did something wrong socially, they attacked us economically. They destroyed our businesses, our cattle, our livestock, and then they punished us socially, of course, whether false imprisonment or death, lynching, stuff like that. So we're really not at the stage as a group to completely abide or listen to the things that white entrepreneurs are saying, because they're not speaking to the manufacturing stage of the people or the industrial stage of the people, because their group and their community have evolved way past that. Their social development is on par with the economic development of the country, of America, of the world, many parts of the world. Some parts are still going through their stages. But blacks socially have not evolved to that place. So when you have black entrepreneurs that are successful, black coaches that are successful, and you rooted them out and vetted them to see that they're successful, it is very important for us as a group to pay close attention and listen to what they're saying, because much of their success had to come by mastering many of the black nuances, the discrimination, the racism. So what I'm saying is it is very dangerous for you to take all your cues from white entrepreneurs, because much of what we think we can do, like what they would tell us, it's not transferable. It's not going to apply, simply because a lot of what we're facing, how our community looks at each other still, and our businesses, and there's a lot of self-hatred, there's a lot of external hatred from our community, there's a lot of mental obstacles, traumas, those types of things are also barriers. It's not as simple as saying throw out a great idea and it's going to be successful. We have social and family issues that has to be rooted out, that only successful black entrepreneurs understand that journey. So that's where you need to go. And many times you're beating yourself up and hitting your head against the wall, trying to figure out why you're not getting to a certain place and why you're not evolving. And the reason is you're taking your cues from the wrong people. So shameless plug right quick. I wrote a book called Blackpreneurship, 50 Obstacles Black Entrepreneurs Face and How to Overcome Them. You can get it by the link that's in the bottom in the comment section, devinrobinson.com, or 50obstacles-to-overcome.com, 50obstacles-to-overcome.com. I wrote a book before that, Power Move, How to Transition from Employee to Employer. That book also talks about my specific journey and how I did it, navigating those ills and those different things that stands in our way a lot of time, because you have to get the story from people who are in a similar demographic as you. It is not as simple as you think when it comes to entrepreneurship. So those are two books that I really, really recommend. I'm not here to necessarily sell books, but I'm here to give you information. And if you feel that you need things to get to the next level, that's why I wrote the books. So Blackpreneurship, 50 Obstacles Black Entrepreneurs Face and How to Overcome Them. It's a bite-sized book. So each obstacle is laid out, and then I talk about the solutions, how you overcome them. Then I move to the next one. So it's a really well-written book. You can get those from devinrobinson.com, links in the comments section, or you can go to 50obstacles-to-overcome.com. My school is also built upon that, Urban Business Institute. We actually have class today that I'm getting ready to facilitate, but that as well teaches people how to transition. We got 25 modules, how to transition. We got online classes as well. You can go to urbanbusinessinstitute.com to check those out. But my whole premise of starting my businesses and writing my books and stuff is to help black entrepreneurs navigate this thing. We're going to face challenges, whether we don't get the loans that we need banks, how to speak the language for them to kind of connect to what we're trying to do. Um, the issues of our community, issues within ourselves, how we perceive and how we see things. If we're lifelong employees and lifelong consumers, we're not going to quite understand how to now be an employer or how to be an entrepreneur, how to be a wealth builder. The techniques are just not the same. So I urge you to do that, and I look forward to seeing you in my training and all my other stuff. All right? Have a great day.